Talks. Today we're going to be talking about technology in fitness, technology from the past, from the future, how it's impacting things, and yeah.
I'm buzzing for this episode, mate. Following last week's episode of Ephraim,
Yeah,
episode
Ephraim was a
15.
monumental guest last week.
It was a brilliant episode. If you haven't seen it already, then make sure you do watch it. It was an absolute cracking episode. So, right, getting into this episode, the reason why I wanted to cover this so badly this week.
Yeah, this was your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I read something last week. How crazy is this, right? On a technology website, I read that they're inventing a suit in which you can stand in. So instead of going to the gym, you'll be able to buy this suit, like Tesla sort of made suit.
Right.
So you stand in this suit, and it compresses you in like certain exercise movements to. The only way I can explain it is if you stand in this bodysuit and to simulate a squat, it will manoeuvre your body, your mechanics into the squat position to give you the mechanics of that movement, but then it will exert a certain amount of pressure on those muscles as if you were plating up a bar or something like that, but you're not actually doing it, you're just stood in that suit and exerting that pressure through those muscles. Similarly, they're doing it for running as well, where you will get in the suit and it will just compress the muscles and manoeuvre your body at the same time, but nowhere near. It's something like 20% at the same rate as you would if you were actually running, and you still get the same, apparently, benefit in terms of cardiovascular, calorie burn, and things like that. And I thought that was mad, because talk about making things lazy, you now don't even have to leave your house, you just have to stand into your Transformer suit.
This is the point we spoke about, where this is it, it's all done, the fitness industry's finished.
Well, we mentioned it before, didn't we? You take that pill and that's it, you're out of it.
Well, I mean, I can see how that could potentially work if you could create muscular damage that would somewhat replicate like what squats and like the movements that we know and love do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me, just the whole lazy thought of just chilling back.
It's the whole going to
feet
the
up.
actual gym and like the environment.
Well, we've said this before, we love the idea of like setting fitness goals, starting a bit of a fitness journey, what it gives you mentally, physically, spiritually. I mean, if that's not all lost in just channel hopping on the sofa, like, oh, I've just done a bicep curl. I'm still holding my remote control.
Get a little notification.
That's 12 of
Well
them.
done, you've done 6,400 squats today.
Yeah.
Have I?
Yeah, my fitness power just going through the roof. I mean, yeah, we've touched on this before. I think that's interesting.
My biggest worry with that, though, if you think about it, is what if the suit compresses you and doesn't stop? Like, there's a massive safety issue in terms of that. Like, what if it says, here we go, you can do a squat, and it just completely keeps going and going and going until your back just crumples, like.
Yeah, or you just...
Or it plates you up with like
you get a
1,000
40
kilos.
one that hasn't been recalled and it's like can't stop and you're just got... or you've done squats for 46 hours straight or something like that and your legs are just...
You can't get out of it.
You're just done. Completely pumped up and just like done, just like new levels of fatigue.
It's crazy, isn't it?
We mentioned before, I think some of the technology side of things is very good. You know, there's lots of designer kit out there. You can get Fitbits, heart rate monitors to track aerobic and anaerobic zones, so you get the most out of your cardiovascular workouts. MyFitnessPal is a classic one that we know and love, which has got people thinking about portion controlling, key basic principles of nutrition, so calories, macros, that kind of thing. So there's almost like the stage that we're at, which we're kind of happy with, and then there's always like this peel behind the curtain.
Completely.
And it's like the 3D printers and that. There's always, and the cars and where that's going.
It's almost worth knowing where the best point to be is before you start going beyond that limit. So like at the moment before, if we were writing it on pen and paper, tracking your workouts, your calories and stuff, there is a advantage to obviously doing that, but the disadvantage is that you're taking a lot of time, it's very manual, things like that. Nowadays you've got the apps, the trackers, it sort of does it for you, it says, well done, you've entered the heart rate zone of this and that, and it's great because you've got all the data you can manipulate.
Yeah.
When we start moving into the world of things that are doing it for you, and it's all very automated, you lose that control element, I think, and that element of almost, there's the safety element, but also the element of you lose connection with actually why you're doing it almost. Like it just does it for, imagine like we said about the pill, if you just took that pill, there's no real, like you said about the culture and the ethos of actually getting there and doing it and the reason why you're doing it.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about technology though is whatever point you're at, you think is the best time. So it's such like a little blurred line, and it's like such like little insidious movement that you never really, you know, if we just said to, if people have been saying 15 years ago, you can now get this watch as it says, oh, it's a bit much. I'm going to track it all down.
Yeah, just need to tell the time.
Yeah, like I just go to CFAX or teletext to look for, like the monthly fitness tip or something like that. Or, you know, or I'll buy a book, a hardback book,
They didn't think they'd Google it.
Yeah, but now we're kind of like, you just get spoiled. So by the time that comes, now where we're at, we're thinking that would massively lose touch with what we know about moving and the way we feel when we train. But
I think it overcomplicates what is actually a very simple thing as well. There is lots of technical and complicated areas that you could focus on. But if you are just looking to lose weight or build mass, etc., we are overcomplicating it by creating all these different apps, softwares, technologies, and making it overcomplicated because you've got so many options you can take.
But we're so inherently lazy that we want to do anything that can help us with that, don't we? So
if I gave you 100 options to achieve one thing, though, your laziness isn't fixed because you can't then be bothered to look at which is the option you should go with.
Yeah, I can see that you get a lot of decision making fatigue
choice.
as to choose the right path. Like, do I worry about my nutrition? Do I take the best looking supplement ever? Do I go and get a Peloton bike? Do I go and do whatever's out there, like the Spectrum stuff?
Even like the food tracker apps, like you've got your Fitbit, Lose It, MyFitnessPal. If you know nothing about this stuff, which one do you go for? And this is what I mean about the choice in the technology that we're given. And the same with Fitbit. You've got Fitbit, Apple Watch, Garmin. They all do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in that method, I suppose it's just much of a muchness over the brand, really. If you want to choose to track things, it's nice to have different choices. No one that's kind of got the monopoly on it. We are still lazy though, aren't we? Which is the problem. If you think about it, where we are 2020, and really the stats on obesity, diabetes type 2, all the stuff that we're apparently trying to get away from with all this designer kit is worse than it's ever been. And it is because we just want to minimise time and effort as humans.
It is a bizarre concept.
Biologically, we want to conserve energy, and that won't ever change. So it's like, a new watch that means I have to think less. The suit that means I have to move less. Yes, please.
And it's sold as a fitness item.
I'm so busy that you mean I could be in great nick for just 4 minutes a day? Yeah, thank you very much. We'll take that. It does. It's quite attractive for people at a time.
It's a bizarre concept that we are creating that lazy culture of. Actually, I can't be bothered to track my calories and I can't be bothered to track my workouts. But wait, there's an app for it and a Fitbit that will do it for me, so I'll wear that. But yet, you're still trying to achieve fitness goals. It's that bizarre concept of creating a lazy culture to actually defeat a lazy culture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just glad to see the back of, I don't even know if they're a thing anymore, hopefully not, the slender toe belts and things, or the belts that you wear
that's probably one of the worst technology advances that we've had.
I know that what's upsetting me is that Ronaldo endorses one now.
Yeah,
that really does actually bother me. So either someone's got him by the short and curly, he's on a blackmail gig and been like the
he's got the sex tape,
or he's had a brief moment of fleeting integrity, but he did not.
I've seen them before. You've seen one of those shopping channels, and they're actually advertised as 6-pack within 6 weeks. In fact, I saw one. Only recently. It was a vibrating plate, so it was like your step up, like your Reebok step up, box things, but it vibrated with an on switch. You just turn it on, it vibrates, and they would demonstrate on the shopping channel. And what they were doing is doing, say, press up position on it, and doing press ups on it, and then jumping up, and then they were squatting on it, doing all these things. They're like, it increases your calorie burn by 80%. And I'm looking at it thinking, what? And they did a 1 minute demonstration, and at the end of it, they were like, 560 calories burned. And I'm like, in a minute? You joke? It's complete and utter, absolute outright fraud. It's just robbing people blind, because if you don't know anything, you think, 500 calories, well, that PT, he told me I need to do an hour's work for that.
No wonder
a lot of this off the shopping channel.
God, screw chatting to someone face to face and trying to change my habits and go on an introspective journey to change. Let's just stay up and watch. I can't think of a channel the joke's gone. One of the channels that has the information.
There are other shopping channels available.
QVC at any time after 2 AM have got the answer. So I don't know what my local gym are on about. They're trying to get me to do those and pushes and pulls and hinge-based movements and compound lifts. Apparently, it's all there for the taking. The guy that's on QVC at 3 AM's got the answers. I think it's you know, a certain level of responsibility lies with the consumer. I think if you're, I don't use the word duped because that sounds derogatory to someone that's potentially buying.
I know what you're saying.
It is fitness and body image can touch on people's hotspots. So if you don't like the way you look, I don't want to say that automatically by default means you're desperate, but it means you're more of an easier target.
This is why those kind of six-pack things sell, because they've created this six-pack culture of to be body beautiful, you have to have a six-pack.
Yeah. So if it's seen that society is telling you at your 22% body fat image that you're invisible and a nobody and no one likes you, and then Mr. QVC 3am seems to have the answer for £99 upfront and £79 interest-free monthly payments, you want to take his arm off, don't you? You're not really going to go and peel back the layers and be like, well, actually, the vibrating plate, is there really any science? Is there really, I'm sure that someone somewhere said about calories in versus calories out, or moving a bit more, or eating healthy. Is it a bit suspicious that I can disregard all that and just buy the belt, or I can just buy the... But, you know, let's say if you are emotionally attached to the way you look or wanting to change that, why wouldn't you?
No, it makes sense.
So, I mean, that's the other side of it is, you know, the more that the technology comes in, the more we just get away from the fact, I always say this, movement was here first, before society.
Love it. Keep it back to
basics. It really is. Do you know, there's nothing really that has changed in our genetics in thousands of years. We know that in the way that we're built, in the way that our blood pumps around our veins, in the way that our joints are created for a purpose, to be in flow and to be moving. If the human body's not walking 4 miles a day, you're going to get problems, whether that's cardiovascular, mobility, whether it's that kind of thing. You just are. If you have a job that is in a booth, that sucks to be you.
Do something about it.
Well, yeah, like it's.
And this is what you're saying about the consumer having the responsibility as well.
Oh dear, that's it. It would be better if you were on your feet, but your current remit is that 9 till 5, apart from a 45-minute lunch, you're pretty much sat.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do
about it?
Yeah, like that doesn't mean that
put the suit on and
you're laughing at the suit. Yeah. No, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to get problems just because your job involves you sitting there. No, movement was always here first. So society is trying to make things easy for us, and we love the fact that we can go to places in parts of this country easier on trains. Go abroad, and the world has become a smaller place because of aviation, all that kind of thing. But still, you've got to think about
the body still. When am I walking? Be lazy. That's the problem.
Yeah. When am I, going to take care of my movement? When am I going to take care of my walking? Whether that's my steps to boost my knee rate for fat loss, or just to get my joints moving, or just like a bit of fresh air so I feel better.
Yeah. And
the further we get away from that poses a risk. So unless these suit-based things are going to be so good that they can kind of go back and be like, oh, well, actually, we'll include the suit, but also include the joint fixer that you rub on you and you've actually walked 4 miles a day, which 2076, who knows? But like, it's
scary thought, though, isn't it, that stuff like that could take over and you lose that whole. I mean, if today that was brought in, we lose gyms, PTs, coaches, everything, done, gone. Yeah. You get into a suit and that's it, done, game over. The whole industry crashes.
I don't think it'd ever be that clear cut that like.
No, but it's like guaranteed to work.
All of us that online coaches, PTs, just like a doomsday. The doomsday clock of just like the suit goes live on like the people like desperately trying to career
just
change
at the job centre. Become a suit manufacturer.
Yeah, PTs getting qualified in like mortgage regulation and stuff like that to try and switch industries. It's just come, oh no, are you ready for November 21st? What's that? The suit launches, didn't it? We're all done. We're all brown bread, it's finished. It's all gone. It will never be that, but it's just as it shifts more into that realm. But then again, we've said this before, will the PT model ever die? Probably. But people are always, I think, going to enjoy human interaction. We're always in the same way we're designed to move, we're designed to be social creatures. We're designed to have almost like pack, tribe mentality. So the minute everyone's just shredded but they're in isolated cubicles, wearing suits, not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Well, that's not.
I think it's right in the fact there is a limit for technology within regards to the fitness industry. I think that it's good to have it to enhance certain things like apps and trackers.
Yeah.
But I think there has to be a line that we draw to say actually we could do it, but we're not going to, because we need to remember the basics and keep moving and join things like that, rather than rely on technology to do it for us, because it doesn't always work.
Well, it doesn't, and I think it would just be so to be able to invent like a time machine and go forward like 150 years to see what they're up to.
I would love to be alive in 500 years and see where we're at with.
Would you rather be, if you had a choice of going back 100 years, knowing what you know now,
Yeah.
and how that could potentially be advantageous for you in that environment, would you rather go back 100 years or before, or forward 100 years?
Oh no.
So you're going into the unknown, you don't know what it's like, it could be hell on earth, apocalypse now, people are all inherently unhappy, depressed, and we fucked it, on my French. Or you go back to, oh god, it would be just the end of World War I, wouldn't it? So, but you're clued up, you know the gig.
Yeah, it's got to go back.
Well,
it's got to go back. Become the inventor of everything and
Well,
just
yeah.
live the best life.
But then but it could be wasted. You're talking about things that no one can relate. People think you're crazy. They could lock you up.
You probably would in a hospital, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right, should we do question of the week this week?
Yes.
You want to go for it or shall I?
You go for it.
Okay, so question of the week this week is, what is the most technical or advanced bit of equipment or IT or something like that that you use to assist you with your workouts?
And also, I was going to add to that, and if you could invent something hypothetically, so free reign on this, doesn't have to be logically possible that it could launch in the next week, to do something not too outlandish, like you never have to go to the gym again, or something that could support your workouts based on your current situation, what would you invent? So kind of a double-ended question this week.
That's episode 16 of Treble Talks. Thank you very much for listening this week. You can follow me on social media at JD Fitness Official. Don't forget to follow Treble Talks at treadmill_talks.
And you can follow me at MattCowPT and on Facebook at We Do Fitness.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.